Here's what it looks like unmasked. I'm going to now take my brown and go around all the lines one more time. Tedious work. We've taken our tan, which looks like this right here, this color right here. This is the tan we're going to use. I know it kind of looks yellow, but it's like a golden yellow. Well, I call it tan. And we're going to go back in on top of each one of these dots. I'm going to do the top part of it, and I'm just going to do a dot on each one of them. We're going to do this on the entire gun stock. I'm going to go lighter on the inset of the brown ones and brighter on the outside. And then after that, I'll show you the next step. Yeah, there was over 500 and some dots, but something you got to do to make it look cool. Now I'm going to take my black and go back under the edges. I'm just doing this lightly around all the edges. Still leaving the brown in the center. Now I'm going to take my Pagan Gold Candy from House Color and I'm going to go on the insets a little bit. And I'll go around the edges just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my root beer brown, I'm going to put a light coat over everything. I'm holding back about 9 inches, using about 55, 60 pounds of pressure. Now I'm going to take my root beer brown and go around the edges. Now I've over reduced this. This is reduced about 200%, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges. You got to be really careful because this will run on you or it'll splatter out because I've got it so over reduced. All I'm using it to do is blend the colors together. Now that my candies have dried, now we're going to go back in with my tan mixture and do some more tedious work. Now what this is going to do is create highlights in the tops of these. Now I'm not going to do every one of them. I'm just going to kind of do a couple little patterns here and there. Yeah, it will start to splatter on the end of your tip, so you got to constantly keep cleaning it. Now we'll do the scales across the top. I'm just layering it, going back, spraying just the top edge a little bit at a time. Now, I'm going to stagger them in between each one of these. I will blend that together with the root beer brown. Alright guys, let's recap what I just did here. I took a wooden gun stock, sanded with 150 grit sandpaper. I took and cleaned that off, and then I sprayed a catalyzed primer on it. After that, I let it dry for a day. I came back in. I sanded it with 320 grit sandpaper, cleaned it off, and put a sealer on it. Now you don't have to sand it with 320 grit. You can sand it with 600 water, clean that back off, and spray your base right on it. I choose to use a sealer, so I sanded it with 320 grit. If you sand it with 320 grit and think you're just going to put your base back on it without a sealer, you're going to have scratches everywhere. So from that point, once we got our base on it, I laid my mesh down and I showed you all the steps through the procedure of how to get it to this using House Color candies and their base coats. Now from this point, you can either put a matte clear on it if you're going to use it for hunting, or a gloss clear, which we're going to use. We're going to use UC35 clear and put a nice gloss finish on this. Now the reason I'm doing that is because he's going to use this as a target rifle. If this was used for hunting, you'd probably want to put a matte clear on it. I'm going to do my wife's gun here later, and I'm going to use a matte clear on it because she is going to hunt with it, and I'm going to do an elk scene across it with some camouflage behind it. But I'll show you step by step of that also, and that'll be in one of our upcoming videos. Hope you guys enjoyed our YouTube videos.